your life like a PEMDAS equation. With the hesitation, you suck at communication. Seems like you having a hard time with the calculation. Lack of preparation when I'm with you. Seems like we bound to lose. Parentheses to keep me out, it seems. That side, exponents, you ain't got no power. You move like a coward. Multiply, you tried, but 0 times 0 equals 0, hero. Divide, that's one thing you do in stride. That seems like that's the way you live your life. Your spirit here, your flesh there, your heart where you don't care. You moving like you choosing and you losing. How you winning when you sinning? It's giving liar, you tried her.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to KF&JF podcast. I tell you.
Greetings. My name is Razak. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My purpose is to help small businesses grow. This means I will assist with the creative process and maintenance of your business. The method to achieve results is simply building a deeper relationship with your customers. I do this by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. By using a wide range of networking tools, we will have an understanding for building your business profile, what type of social media marketing fits your productivity and your availability, and building your financial profile, branding your services, product, or merchandise. Together, we may also determine what type of license is needed to operate your business. And does your budget permit the ownership of your own domain or buying into pre-existing sites that host your page? I like to drive traffic by managing your website. This allows me to work with you to select posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. I also assist by generating comments on other individual business sites or a page that create a dialogue of conversation directed towards your page. I also assist with the creation of the content on your media site. This will be a collaboration of ideas which will reflect on your brand, your work ethics, and the community's need to know what you have to offer them to bring a better quality of comfort to their lives and lifestyle. I can also assist with the writing of content, directing your videos, the editing process, and publishing them on various sites for marketing purposes, advertising, and promotional value. Questions, but let me ask you this: how do you incorporate cultural influences into your cooking?
That's a good question. I don't necessarily know if I do, if that is something that we do. When I think of cultural influences, actually, I will say one way that we definitely do that is, I think I've mentioned earlier that we are in an era where people are complaining a lot about foods. We see there's the guy Keith Lee who was going around like reviewing different restaurants, and he's known for doing that. There's another guy online who like shows different recipes for different companies. And I think culturally, a lot of people are fed up with paying so much money and getting so little in return. And I think that that really influences us to, first of all, pack our food with love, make our food with love, but also keep the customer in mind when it comes to our prices, when it comes to understanding that like food brings us together. And there's nothing that irritates somebody more than spending money on something and not getting what they paid for or not getting what they expected. And so that is something that culturally it seems to be very predominant right now. Just people talking about getting smaller portions from restaurants that used to be a lot better about their portions, or just getting poor service, or the quality of food changing, or people working with companies that are maybe producing food that's not great for us, or people feeling as though businesses are poisoning them, for lack of a better word. And so understanding that there is a need right now for people to feel as though their food is made not only with love, but also with premium ingredients, and that is made with the consumer in mind, and not just with the act of lining your pocket in mind. When we started MAHONEMADE, we didn't think about, we're starting this company so that we can be rich. We are rich in spirit and in truth. We knew that we were starting this company so that we can bring richness to our community. We could bring them something that they can partake in while they're surrounded by their loved ones, or when they're having a family gathering, or when they're having an office party. We can bring love and light to them in the package of a great cupcake, or a great cookie, or a great brownie, or a great cake or a great pie or whatever it is that you want to order, because we also offer specialty orders. But really just seeing that people are fed up with getting less than, and so wanting to shift that and provide a greater than experience to our customers.
Okay. Okay. And what would you say when I say how do you stay creative and innovative in your cooking while still staying true to like the culinary style and identity?
I think that's a good question. I would say that's where one of the beauties that is about having a team, because in the areas where I falter, my mom, she is the creative genius in terms of knowing what type of new things to add into a new cookie, or what kind of cookies are very popular right now that people might be interested in, or what is a cookie that has never been made before that would be really great. And so because she knows so much about ingredients, that's something that I truly rely on her to. Like, my favorite cookie that we have is it's a spiced iced cookie, and so it's kind of like an old school oatmeal cookie, but it's a softer cookie, and it's like it has like a spice to it, almost like a cinnamon spice type of taste, and a very sweet like overlay. And it's just so creative. I've never had something like that before. I hope to never have something like that again. So I hope nobody's out there copying us. But it's so good, and it's so and it's so creative. And it's like she knows different things to do to create her own recipe. And so for me, it's just been like truly learning. Like, okay, why did you think to make, we usually would make oatmeal raisin cookies, but she's like, okay, let's make oatmeal chocolate chip as well. Or let's make these old school peanut butter chews, because they used to make them in the lunchroom when I was a kid and people like those. And it's like, I've never heard of a peanut butter chew before, but she truly stays ahead of it because this is what she was taught to do. And so I learn a lot from her in that sense, where she can just truly get creative with ingredients. And there's not a thing that she makes that's not good. And so I just really appreciate that. Like, something will come to her mind, or we'll go somewhere and we'll eat something and it's like, it might be lackluster. And so she's like, I can make this better. She goes home and she does just that, and then the next thing you know, it's something that we're selling. And so I would say I truly defer to her leadership when it comes to that.
Okay.
Smart.
Okay.
Smart.
Smart. Everybody play their part, right?
Everybody, know your role.
Is there a what's the word? Is there a food related tradition or ritual that you guys have before you guys get into the kitchen and start making these things, or before you go to a?
I would say the main ritual is like making sure my mom is there. Like, don't start cooking if she's not there. I think that's the main ritual. Like, even today, like, I made dinner and I was with my mom, and I'm like, all right, mom, like let's go. And so just her presence it's affirming, because like I said, I learned so much from her, and I want to one day be able to feed my family and be able to feed people. So I think that's a tradition. It's just always making sure like she's nearby, so I can say like, did I put too much of that, or should I put a little less, or should I put more of this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably the main tradition, is making sure she's present when it comes to the baking and culinary things.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest misconception about the vending, food vending, and how do you address it?
I would say there's probably people probably have a lot of different misconceptions. First off, when it just comes to eating food from other people, I would say growing up with my mom has always been very, very, very reluctant to eat anything from anybody. If they're selling things or if they're making things, she's always been very reluctant. And I find it so funny considering the business that we're in now. And so I think that there are other people who might still have that notion as well, where they might be reluctant to purchase from a premium baked, home baked good company. But it's like, some of the greatest companies started in garages. And so understanding that we started from somewhere, but it's our goal to truly be around the globe. And I think just honestly being okay with taking a chance with good reason. Like, obviously assess the situation, make sure that everything is cleanly and everything is done up to standard and up to health code necessities. But be willing to try things, because you might find your favorite dessert, you might find your favorite treat, your favorite meal, by just taking a chance and just being okay with trying new things, even if it's something that you're not traditionally used to doing. So I think a lot of times people might be taken aback about even trying new things or trying new treats. You might have these things that you already know that you like to eat, that you're used to getting, and you don't want to introduce something else into your diet. But a lot of people may not want to take that risk, but I just implore people to truly take the risk to try new things, because you never know. You might come across something that you love and that you can't live without. Hopefully it's homemade premium baked goods.
Can you share with us a food-related goal or aspiration that you have for the future?
Yeah, I would say a goal that we have food related is truly allowing or creating a platform or some type of infrastructure that will allow people to purchase online. And I think that's a big goal that we have now, because we've tested it out. We've had people purchase things from um, different states, like with their family or their people who knew us intimately. And so now giving people the opportunity to come to a platform where you can place orders, or we might have a specific day where we are selling this specific thing and you can come and place your order, truly creating that infrastructure and finding out the optimal way to get that done, while also still bearing in mind that we are an up and coming company and trying to find different ways to make things work. But I think that's one of the biggest goals, is to allow for other people who are outside to access us readily. And so now you do have the option where even if you are out of state, we do deliver locally, but if you are out of state, you can send us an email, and you can also call the number, and we'll give you all the things that we offer, and we can send you whatever it is that you want, but really wanting to make it something that's readily accessible where you can just click a button. And so that's what we're working on now. So definitely stay the course with us. Follow us on our journey. You can also follow us on MAHONEMADE at Instagram, where we're going to be now documenting more of our journey and just showing more photos and videos of just our process that we're going through. But we really want to be able to connect across the globe with different people and truly make our mark by truly just showing that we are accessible to others.
Okay. Can you discuss the importance of representation and diversity in the media, in the entertainment?
Yeah, I certainly can. There's a quote I used to always say. It's hard to be what you can't see. And we are in a space where my background is in media. I also went to business school, and I also went to law school with the intention, I always have had and will have the intention to ultimately become a media executive. And so it's one thing for people to place different talking heads in different spaces, but it's another thing to be making the decisions that impact the culture. And I think that that's something that is overtly lacking. We are lacking a bunch of people in the C-suites that need to be there, especially if we are impacting our culture in the world at large, as we are, because we are often using different Black voices to be the talking head, but not necessarily the ones who are pulling the strings. And so that's an issue that I always have. Additionally, I also say, if you walk into a room and you are the only one who looks like you, it's because you're supposed to be there. So even if it is hard to be what you can't see, you have to rise to the occasion and look outside of yourself and see, these people might not be like me, but there's something that I am here to offer. There's something that I'm bringing to the table. There is a lot of times where a lot of musicians or women who look like me and the type of music that I do are not promoted. They are not pedestalized for different reasons, be it people want to defer to colorism, racism, or what have you. Or it could also be the act of pushing an agenda. And so I would always implore people to continue to stay the course. What is for you is going to be for you. And there will always be roadblocks. There will always be people attempting to stand in the way. But we have to recognize that we need to be more than just the talent who's juggling. We have to also be okay with being the executives who are making the decisions, being the ones who's in the room making the tough critical decisions that one might not want to make, the one who's deciding maybe that shouldn't be mainstream, maybe that should be mainstream, maybe we should care more about our children and see what we're feeding them in terms of music, in terms of films, in terms of TV shows. And so I'm just grateful for my role to be able to not only be an artist, but also be well equipped to be the CEO of a media company when it's my time to do that.
Well, we can be a vessel for you to step that way, you know what I mean? Because you definitely have the presence and, you know, the vocal ability, you know what I mean? You're not shying away from the camera. Okay, so on your social media platform, get the content that you create, do you advocate, in a lawyer? I mean, I know you
That's
maybe this might be separate things, but do you
mhm.
still
So that's a really
kind
good
of?
question. Yeah,
I didn't know
I
really
that's
how
a
to
good,
ask that.
yeah, but I get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
my journey initially with content creation was me showing my law school journey. And so I went on a complete hiatus from content for several years and then returned and began doing my music. And now the reason why I did that is because I showed people my journey to getting into law school. And that was the journey. The beauty is in the journey. It's not in the destination. There is no destination. And so when I no longer came on and showed like, this is my life as an attorney, it was because it was now me cultivating the gift of being an artist and writing music and truly like receiving the gift. Like I did the assignment. That was a very tough assignment of becoming an attorney. And now I'm in practice, but now I have this gift that has been given to me to be able to create music. And so I cultivated that gift and am continuously cultivating that gift. And so now a lot of the content that I promote or that I post is promoting my music or just showing my music because that's now a gift that I share with the world. However, I have now gone back into the process of now vlogging again as I used to, and now just showing the dynamics of being an artist who's also an attorney, and just showing like what the day in the life of me might look like, whether it's like I have a hearing today and then a studio session later. But it's really just less about influencing people and more about just being transparent and showing like this is the journey that I'm on now. And so now we're doing more about like creating that. So I have probably about 15 blogs that are waiting to now be uploaded. So now this is the season to really put things out. But my primary thing that I do is showing my music. And the reason for that is because as an attorney, there's so few of us who are Black attorneys. And one of the issues that I have traditionally had is that it often becomes an identity where it's very hard for you to be used as a vessel in other ways, or for you to even enjoy life in truth, because you have this image that you're trying to keep, like, well, I'm the lawyer. And it's like, it's a job. And it can be a great opportunity if you're doing it right. But when you allow for it to be who you are, you can't move seamlessly as a vessel. You can't go into this space and this space and this space because you are always showing up. And a lot of us don't trust you. You're always showing up untrusted, buttoned up. And so it's just this image where it's like, there's so few of us. We're the intellectual elite, what have you. And the reality is, it's one of the things that I do. And so because of that, I try to really, like, I will show the realities of it. Like I'll show different pieces of like, hey, I just left court or this is going on. But I try to really make it clear to everyone who is consuming my content that I am a vessel. Like I don't have to keep harping on that, but I try to show that by showing my ability to be in the studio with engineers and with different artists, and also go to the dance studio and choreograph and learn new routines, but also write this and also go perform here, just showing that I'm able to move through those spaces. Because when you put yourself in that box, they will keep you there. And I recognize that even as a YouTuber, when I predominantly documented my law school and business school career, anytime I would try to do any other content, people aren't necessarily trying to see that, because it's like, we came here for this. So now it's like, you're going to get what I give you, and I'm going to give you me in truth. I'm not trying to show you this is me, the attorney. I'm just showing you this is me, TIMAIAH. The name remains the same, TIMAIAH, regardless of what room I'm in. And so now I'm just showing me as a vessel. And whatever you get that day is what you get.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Well. Okay, so let's grab let's dig into that right there. What type of music are you doing? I mean, I know, I checked you out, but for the people who don't know,
I'm good,
what type
huh?
of
No, you need to say, yeah, you can't laugh that off. I said, I'm good, huh? I need a yes. I need an affirmed yes.
Yes.
Let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Man,
Right.
what kind of? Okay, so is there a particular era of music that influences you when you're making your content?
I would say I love every era of music and every genre of music to a point. Like I have always just loved music. And so for me, the way that I create music, I'm messages. Like I'm truly a messenger, and I'm telling stories. But there are specific artists who I would say who I would say many people have compared me to, and I've received the comparison. Like I'm not anti the comparison. It's like that's good. And so there are different artists who I am truly I love their music. But I would say I rap. I do rap. I love like poetry on the track. So I love honestly like spoken word rap, singing, like R&B, some pop. But traditionally it's like the subject matter that I speak about, and I try to speak about like real world experiences that people deal with. I also just like to be used as a messenger to deliver difficult messages. The job of a messenger is a tough job because a lot of times people don't want to hear the message, and so when you put it on the track with some frequencies, a lot of times they're able to now digest it and receive it in ways that they're not going to be able to receive it if I'm just talking at them. And so that's one of the things I love about music. It's that I've partnered with the divine to be used to set people free with my music, and that's ultimately what my goal is. And so there are artists who I truly love. Lauryn Hill is one of them, and Tupac is another one. If those two came together and made a musical daughter, it would be me. TIMAIAH.
Man, that's a claim to have right there.
It
Okay.
is, and I'm standing on it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
Man,
you.
them two together.
Those two together, and it will be me, and you will see. And so I'm in the season now of like showing my work. So I have over 500 songs. I have 6 songs that are released. So now I'm in the season of truly getting these things to be ready for streaming site ready, and really building that presence. And it's a journey because even when I speak about people putting you in the box, there's so many people where it's like, when I tell them what I do, they're like, wait, so you're an attorney and you also do music? It gets on my nerve. But I have to just remember, like, okay, this is unconventional. It don't really make a lot of sense to people. But when people recognize or understand the role of a messenger, you will know that the reason why many people are not being used to their fullest capacity is not because they're not capable. It's because they're not allowing God to use them. And they have put limits on how God can use them. So when they see someone else operating in those spaces, it's kind of like uncharted territory. But nevertheless, I'm going to stay the course. And so I am in the season now where I'm putting the content out, and I'm just taking the risk on myself. And I truly believe not only in myself, but in the source who has given me the gifts and given me the words to speak. And so it's a high honor to have a gift that I love so much. And it's when you think about being an attorney, a lot of people like live to work. And that's the thing. Like we in America live to work. Like our jobs are everything. And I truly work to live. And music is life to me. And so being an attorney is one of the works that I do. And I do that in the form of ministry. I do that for God. But in doing that, it gives me the opportunity to fund my music and ultimately be able to put myself in the platforms that I want to be on ultimately.
Yeah, well, I would. The biggest thing I was taking out of that is that, you know, a lot of people don't do their full potential because of the people that they're listening to that's not allowing them to get that encouragement, that motivation, and that push that they would ordinarily have from somebody who was like, okay, you got an idea, you know, go ahead. I'm going to help you reach that, you know, that point that you want to get to, versus saying, you know, nah, I don't think you can do that, or, you know, maybe something else would be better for you, and versus going, and then that person maybe thinking like, okay, well, you know, well, after you hear so many people say that, hey, that maybe you need to do something else, you will stop and do something else, versus going on what you had already said that you're focused on. And then people in a sense can convince you not to go with something that you've been dreaming about being or doing, you know what I mean? And I think that's really what holds us back a lot of times. And, you know, I also like to, you know, I don't know if we asked you about this too. I know you had mentioned it, but what is the going percentages of black or not just black but female attorneys that when you was going through there, were you like, I know you were saying something like, you know, you might have been seeing or feeling some kind of like, you know, prejudice or something like that, you know what I mean, or just like, you know, they getting these looks. But what is the percentage at while you was going through and now that you know that you have your colleagues or people of color?
That's a really good question. And so I think nationwide, there's less than 5%, less than 5% of attorneys are Black nationwide. And so when I went through law school, when I started law school, I think I was in a section my first year of about 70 people. There were, I believe, of those 70 people, 3 of us were Black. And so that's extreme. And so we had what we call BOSA, which is like the Black Law Student Association. And so I was actually president of the Black Law Student Association while I was in law school. And now, as an attorney, I mean, it's just like a law school class. There's like a pocket full of us. However, there are several different Black organizations of attorneys who come together. And so I'm very active in those organizations. And so in spite of the fact that there's so few of us, what I do appreciate is that those of us who are Black attorneys, we come together in big numbers, like, and we have a good time. We take care of our community. We do service in our community, and we also spend time networking with one another. And so, although there's always very few of us, I always try to find myself in those groups that can foster relationships between us and also help us to foster relationships with others in the community. But the numbers are very small and dwindling as we speak. And so I do think that that is one of the reasons why all of my YouTube content is still up, because as I said, it's hard to be what you can't see. And I love that now there are so many, I mean, when I was doing it, it was just me, and I think maybe one other girl who was also making similar content. Now there's several different young Black girls who are on TikTok, who are on Instagram, or on YouTube, who are showing their lives as young law students. And the more the merrier to me, because that's something that is so few of us. And it's not to say that because you're watching that content, you want to be an attorney, but you might be somebody who's interested in medical school. You might be someone who's not even interested in school, but you're inspired by the act of seeing someone pursue their dreams. But just really staying connected to the community, even when it's a small number, is what's been really helpful to deal with the lack of Black people proportionally.
Right, right. And let me ask you, okay, so this is the question I have for you. In the sense of a life lesson, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is a life lesson, but when you're making your content, and so how should I say this or ask this? So when you're doing your content, and you said you seen the other people do it, other young females do it, do you see yourself as being a role model to the other younger females, Black and or minority in general? You know what I mean? Because you're doing something more positive. You're not doing well. Actually, I haven't looked on there, but you don't sound like you're doing it. But you're not doing booty shake videos and twerking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're not, wearing something provocative and then saying, "Hey, I got a message to tell, but I need to show all this skin and do all this nasty stuff." You know what I mean? To get my message across.
Right.
Or to be popular or something. No, you don't sound like the way you're talking to us. You don't sound like that. I mean, I looked at a few of your stuff on YouTube, prior to having you on there, but I mean, I didn't like look through all through there. So do you feel like this is something that you're needing to, like, that calling that you have, the message, that the being the vessel? Do you feel like this is something that you're now being put up there and in the forefront of your content and creation?
That is a really good question. And I would say I know that I was set apart to do something, and it was to truly walk out this walk in truth. And so I wouldn't call myself a role model, because I'm not the one who's looking up to me, but I do pride myself in not only being the vessel, but also stewarding those who seek me out for insight or for wisdom. As a law student, there were many people who watched my content and who were interested in taking the same path as me. So I did do like life coaching, and I would host sessions with like several dozens of girls and just speak to them and help them with their own journeys and with their own processes. And in my life, I do recognize that I'm always in that position, and I'm strategically placed there, rarely because of my own doing. And so I would say I am a role model because I play my role, and I am modeling the example that I was called to. And in that, God will get the glory. And if that helps you to see something in yourself, or give you some type of insight like that, that means that I'm doing my job right. But I don't necessarily seek the position of role model. I just play my role and model the life that I know I was called to model.
Okay. And in the terms of, okay, so your mom, I mean, you just had a passing in the family. And so now it's your mom. Did you mention any sibling? I don't think you mentioned any siblings or anything like that earlier. But what in terms of legacy?
Thank you for
Because you
telling me
mentioned.
that. I should throw something in there. Let me remember that you said that, because that's risky. I should have mentioned I do have a twin sister. I should have led with that. I do have a twin sister and a little brother. Who we all have the same mom. But yeah, I should have mentioned them. They're part of the business too. But
Oh, they are.
Yeah, my twin sister, like it's truly like all hands on deck. The family all plays a role. My sister's helping with our interpersonal relations, our community relations, and she's my twin. And then my little brother, you know, he's like the muscle, so helping us carry the tables and doing things at the event, just helping out with also just getting new customers. He's always getting us new people to give business to or to do business with. And so I do have siblings. I just want to say that, but go ahead with your question. Shout out to my siblings.
No, no, that was going to be the question, because I know you had mentioned something about legacy before, but we didn't really. It wasn't like a question, like a actual question that we was asking you. What are your what I mean in terms of legacy? Do you have something in place that you're doing right now to pass on to anybody else, or set up for the other family members, or children? You didn't mention children either, but or a family that you're going to have, or
right. That's a good question. I think right now this is what we've even realized when we just did our first event on Juneteenth. We had some of our younger cousins who are also Mahones, who are excellent with baking and just were helping us with the books and like taking orders. And one of the things we noticed, like I was talking to my mom about it, like, okay, they're going to be really like they're in high school right now. They're both. One of them's just now starting high school, and the other one is going into her junior year. And so it was just so beautiful to see the full circle moment, to see like how hands on deck they were, how passionate they were about the business. And so it just confirmed like, hey, like we're really doing something. Like this is going to be something that when we're not doing this anymore, like they're going to be part of the business. They're going to be the ones who are leading it. And at that point, my kids will be working for the company. And it's just the act of seeing that our first event, it was truly so many of us who all came together to have a very successful event and have a very successful outcome, because we did sell out of everything. But it was all hands on deck, from like the smallest hands in the group to my mom's hands, who are the foundational hands that brought the business together. So truly seeing like the act of us coming together is evidence of the fact that it's going to be something that we will be able to pass down, so long as we stay the course.
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Yes. I kind of think that you've just been given a lot of good information, and with Zach asking you these questions that has a lot to do with a variety of areas that you cover. So what I'd like to ask you about, I'm sorry, because I'm just going to jump in on it, and just tell me what you think about, I've done paralegal. So my whole thing is I want to be a lawyer, but I have to do a few things. So I went through criminal law, real estate law, and all of these different things. So I want to be a lawyer, but I'm a little older. So I want to ask you, how old you think, or what have you seen in age people starting to go into law school, or even coming out in their 50s and 60s, still working to trying to get their law, their license and everything? Do you find that to be like too late, or do you say just keep going and do it?
That's a good question. So I rebuke any person who ever refuses or delays doing something because of age. That is not something that's a part of my hardware. I don't assent to it. I don't come into agreement with it. I don't care how old you are. You are never too old so long as you are living. So long as you have breath in your body, you do what you feel led to do. And that is my biggest issue with a lot of people, because there are so many people whose dreams are never realized because they think it's too late. But too late for what? You don't even know the time that you have here. You have no idea how long you're going to be here, when you're going to go. What is the metrics to determine if something is too late? There is the limit does not exist. And so I know that there are people who have started law school in their 70s, and that's something that they always wanted to do, and they finally took the chance on themselves because they realized if they don't take the chance, then the chance won't present itself. And so whether it's somebody who wants to be a musician and think like, I'm too old for the industry, everybody listens to music. There's somebody in your demographic who wants to hear your music. You're never too old to do what God called you to do. You're never too old to have fun. You're never too old to chase your dreams. And so I just rebuke the notion. I am completely anti anything that has to do with age. Now, there may be things that a person is personally dealing with as it pertains to their age that just comes with aging. Maybe they're dealing with any type of cognitive limitations. But so long as you are an able-bodied person and you have a desire in your heart, my suggestion and recommendation is to always go for it. I don't care how old you are. So.
Hey, I'm gonna be going for my I told myself that's my whole thing. I intend to be a lawyer at some point, and that's I intend to be a musician too, and I intend to be a podcaster too.
It's all one thing. And as I said, and you have those thoughts because it's all one thing. It's a messenger. And the way in which you're going to be used is different in those different demographics. But I would never recommend anybody delay something because of anything. Like, the worst that could happen is nothing. And so if that's something that you want to do, don't want to do it, just do it. Do or don't. And I said do.
Be a doer.
Be a doer. So let me ask you this, since we're talking about being a doer and getting it done. Do you have a bucket list? Is this something that you're running around here saying, I need to get this done? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a trip you want to take. Maybe it's, I don't know. Tell me what you're thinking on your bucket list there.
That's a good question. I feel like I've done all the things. I feel like I've done all the worldly things that I've wanted to do. Like, there's a bunch of things that I want to do this, join this organization. I want to be the president of this. I want to graduate from here. I think I've done all those things. Now I'm really just like enjoying the journey. But I think on my list is, I guess I would say, the act of truly stepping into the essence of being an artist, like full throttle, with no reservations or no reluctance, like truly taking that risk in all that I do, and truly like honing in on artist development. Like the only list that I presently have is just the things that I'm incorporating in artist development. So whether it be different vocal exercises or choreography or working on breath control. So I think that is the list that I want to remain courageous and continue to attack that list, because I know that it's going to make me an all-around great artist, and I want to be an artist that stands the test of time. And so my major thing that I've been focusing on now is truly like allowing for my mind to not get in the way of the assignment of truly being an artist and enjoying that journey and that process of my artistry.
That is great. I mean, I think that's a positive way of looking at it. It's something I want you to take the time to do. Maybe I'm going to ask this question this way. You talked about your family and everything, but I think I like to hear you talk to them. And I like to hear you do something that, a lot of people, that have a family support system like you do, and so much that you guys you express, a little bit about how that works, how what you get out of it, what you are learning from each one of your brother or sister that helps you, and how you're doing other things. Can you talk a little bit to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I can do that. So I first want to just start with my mom, and just say, like, Mom, thank you so much for believing in me, and for giving me the grace to be the vessel that that I was created to be. I truly appreciate you not only accepting me for who I am, but also just encouraging me, even when you might not understand what my path is. You ultimately understand, like, okay, God has her, she's fine. And so I just appreciate you, first of all, going on this endeavor with me and allowing me to be a vessel to help you bring your dreams to realization, because working with you has also helped me build my own dreams. I also wanted to say to my aunt and my cousins, thank you guys so much for being a part of the business and truly not only encouraging my mom, but also taking the leadership to make sure that everything is done properly for the event, that the packaging looks good, and that we're getting new customers. I truly am just excited for this endeavor, for us to continue to build this together. And I'm just so excited to see where God takes this. And also now to my siblings, my sister, my brother, I thank you guys so much for loving me, and also for understanding that I am mom's favorite, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't love you guys. And I hope that you guys are okay with that. And I just love the act of us coming together and working to build this family business. I also want to just thank my dad for being there for us, for loving us, and for also just getting my mom more orders and just being there to like bring in the customers at the Juneteenth event. I'm just so excited to see everything that this business becomes. And I just want to thank you guys all and just say I love you guys so much.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for your sisters and your brother. I can't believe you said that. She said that.
My mom would never say it, but they believe it, and I agree. So,
Mom, I know I'm the favorite, but just to let you know, just I'm the favorite. Doesn't mean that you guys ain't. Oh my God! I'm telling your brothers and sisters when you get on the podcast, y'all great tell her she ain't the favorite. She ain't the favorite.
I will say to my mom's credit, she has never said that I was the favorite. However, my siblings say it, and so I have taken the title. I'm not going to run from it.
That's all you can do, huh? That's all you can do. Man.
Super conceited. Now we know where she's got a little bit going on too.
I'm just kidding. Give or take.
Oh, yeah. It came out with all the stuff that you said. We know that you serious, and so
yeah, I don't really lie. Well, I do think I'm the favorite, but my mom has never admitted to that, so that's fine.
Okay. Why should she? You doing it? You doing it so she don't have to get in trouble. You said you doing it. So man, that's cool. That's cool though that you guys have that kind of family relationship that everybody can be a part of something and make something like that grow. So when your mother started this business, did she feel like that she needed to have some other way, something else that she was going to do, or is it just she always wanted to be a cook, or was it just something that fell in her hand?
I think that she's always wanted to do this. One of the beautiful full circle moments was like, even when we were trying to like lock down the name, she looked in her notes in her phone and she saw from like three or so years prior, she had the name MAHONEMADE like written in her notes to like for her baked good business. And so I knew that this was something that she always wanted to do, but it was so good to see that confirmation to know like this was something that she truly wanted to do. And so I think that this is something that she was called to do. Like if my mom would say like the best thing that she can do, she would say she's best at cooking. I would think of a million things that she's great at. I think she's just amazing all around, but that is her gift to the world. And so I think it was just the act of, now I have the time to like harp on her to be like, all right, mom, well, let's go to the business bureau to send this, or let's do this. Now she has me like present to be able to like encourage her as I was on my sabbatical period. And so I do think that this is something that she always wanted to do. And I don't think that she initially had the mindset that it would be a family thing. But as it began to unfold, it became clear that the legacy of Mahone is something that is family driven. And so the legacy is what we want to maintain and continue to expand on.
Yeah, I think you got something going good there. So what excites you now? You got a lot of stuff that you've accomplished, a lot of things that you've ran through in life. So what excites you now? What's one of the main things that's kind of like got you, right now, said, man, I'm excited to, for this to happen or to be in this position. What is that?
That's a really good question. I found myself recently just like outwardly saying like, oh, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so happy. I feel like my spirit knows that I'm about to embark on something that my flesh doesn't have the full revelation of. And so I just feel like I've I've been in like a hidden season, a season of God really like cultivating me and really like refining me to like put me on public platforms or put me in spaces that I wasn't before. And so I'm just excited to be used. Truly, I'm excited to no longer let anything limit me from doing the things that I was called to do. And so I'm just like expectant. Like I have this sense of expectance where it's like I expect that this is going to be good, that things are about to get really good, because I know that I've passed my test. Like I know that I've done the work and I'm continuing to do the work. And so I think it's just this expectance. It's like it's not one thing. It's just walking into this new season of my life that I'm walking in right now. It's just knowing that it's a promised land in truth because of the work that I've done to get to where I'm headed. And so it necessitates me rising to the occasion and being who I need to be. But I'm eager for the opportunity to just walk in these spaces confidently and knowing that I deserve to be there.
Yeah, you definitely have the confidence to succeed in anything you do. You know, you have something that is it's a special gift and a special talent to be able to articulate everything that the way that you're doing that. So, how do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What does that look like? You know, to you. You know, does that mean that you're retired?
Good question. I would say in 5 years, I see myself on world stages in truth. And what I'll be doing will be an amalgamation of things, like a one-woman show. I'll probably have some background dancers too. But I see myself on the stages that I think I'm supposed to be on. I see myself having a family and nurturing that family. I see myself being, the best way I can put it is like a Proverbs 31 woman. I see myself being that now, but I see myself living that, where I see myself building things with my hands and being a vessel, but also being used in a way that will bring glory to God. So I just see myself truly being used and being placed in positions that I was equipped to be placed in. I think that can be vague enough to preserve me. I see myself being a superstar.
Yeah, stage will do it.
That's what I see.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I think you are already there in a lot of ways. So
Thank you.
you are already a superstar in a lot of ways. Let me ask you about, you talked about your church. You talk about how much you rely on scripture and those types of things. Give a shout out to your church. What church do you go to, or do you have a pastor that you got out there that you want to let him know that you believe in what he's telling you?
I will say shout out to God. I'm at the God Tabernacle. I am not a religious affiliate, believe it or not. Now there are some churches or some pastors who I think are pretty cool people, and shout out to them. But I am truly, I believe that I seek God for the word and take from trees that God directs me to. So in this season, and probably for the past maybe 4 years, 3 years, I'm not a member of anybody's congregation or anybody's affiliation or anybody's gangs or club. I'm just God's vessel moving through earth.
Right. Well, that's you don't have to be a part of a church to have your connection with God to do the things
Nope.
that you know.
But I'm not anti-church, but I am anti-churches that God is not in. And so I do believe anybody who is in church, be discerning, make sure that that's a place that God called you to. Because it's not the season to be playing church. It's the season to have a true relationship with God in spirit and truth. And true believers need to worship in spirit and truth. So I'm not anti-church. And should there be a season where I'm placed in the church, it will be because God let me there and God is there, not because people are acting like God is there.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Boy, I tell you, boy, she just gave I don't know what they call that. Not a closing argument. I think that was an opening argument.
Yeah, she a lawyer. That was a closing argument. Yeah, that was case closed right there.
Shout out to all the churches, nevertheless.
You didn't have to go no further than that. I took a little stab at it, and that's all I was intending to do. But let me know a little bit about some things that you would like to talk about that maybe we did not. expressed in this portion of the interview. I like to be able to give you a chance to express some areas that you would like to get out and be able to have our listeners be able to understand. Can you do that?
Great. Yeah, I would say I would like to just give you guys both a shout out and just say I truly appreciate what you guys are doing, and I truly believe in the vision that you guys have, and I know that it's going to take off in many ways, and it already has. I want to just say thank you guys first of all for the platform, but also just thank you for giving other businesses this platform. You're truly being used as a vessel to help exalt other people and um, give them notoriety, give them access to eyes. But in doing that, you guys are truly putting a light on yourselves and showing that you guys are true vessels. And so I just appreciate you guys taking the time. There's not even anything that I feel like you guys didn't ask, because both of you guys asked very thoughtful questions, very well thought out questions, and just great questions all around. So I just appreciate this interview. I appreciate you guys taking the time to speak with me. And I just think you guys are doing a really great job. And I'm just so excited to be a part of this. And I'm so excited to see the heights that this goes to. I know that it's only going to get greater and greater because you guys seem to have pure hearts and a really great intention behind what you guys are doing. So I'm just rooting for you guys, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We really, want to express our sincere gratitude for you coming on and taking the time and out of your day with all of the different areas of the world you live in, attorney, business owner, artist, and all of those things. And you came on the show, and we really, really do appreciate that. I'm gonna pass it to Razak because he may have some final questions for you before we close out. But for me, I really do thank you, and you know what? I am really, really proud of you. That I really want to be able to promote this in a way where young people out there can see what they can do with all of the talent that they have in life. Don't walk away from it. Razak.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Well, the first thing I want to ask you is, is there people that you have collaborated with during your music and or business dealings that you could mention, or is there a story behind?
I would say that's a really great question. So a lot of my musically, I'll speak to that. It was truly me partnering with God and me making this music. And I was my own engineer. I would be the person who found the beats. And so I mixed and mastered the music myself. I wrote the music myself. And it was really like a one-woman show. And so now I'm in a space where I've now been working with an engineer who I actually have really collaborated really well with. His name is Top Guy, also Lalo is his name. And so I'll give him a shout out because he's just a great engineer. And it's been just a blessing to be able to work with someone who can do the technical side, where I can now come in and make the music, and I can not have to worry about mixing and mastering myself. And though I still have that skill to be able to do that, it's been really a great experience to collaborate with someone and make music. And so I am in the season now, as I am really truly stepping into the artistry, where I'm always looking for other people to partner with and to collaborate with, should it make sense. And so I'm always just open to just seeing how that could unfold. But I am really just excited about the opportunity of working with different artists who are similarly situated to me. But that has been a new connection that has been really a gift. And so I'm excited to work with new engineers. I've also, since really beginning to put myself out there, I've had several different producers reaching out to me, sending me their beats and wanting me to work with their beats. So that's been a really great blessing to just have these people who have found my music and want me to now partner with them. And so it's just been really cool to just collaborate with new people in that way. But I'm now just getting my feet wet and trying to get into that.
Okay. Do you ever have I know you said you write all your lyrics. Do you ever consider a ghostwriter?
Not if it's not the holy one. No, I'm the messenger. I'm the vessel. So I don't need a ghostwriter when I'm necessary. I'm the vessel that they're using. And so understanding that my lyrics come from a higher place, Now, I understand that there are people who partner with people in the act of making songs and they want these songs to be hits. And I won't say that in the future I won't possibly work with someone on a hit song, but I love the opportunity to like write music for other people. But when it comes to like my pen, like music is so spiritual to me, and I don't want anybody to taint that process. Would I ever allow somebody to throw me a line? Most likely not, but I won't say no completely. But I'm very I do believe that I am the vessel, and so in that I'm a messenger. Like my goal is not truly to be, I want to be the greatest singer, I want to be the greatest rapper. It's truly an assignment to be a messenger, and I don't want anybody tainting the message that was given to me. If they have their own message, then let them do that. But unless I'm asking for help on a hit song, like I say in one of my songs, not here for hits, no writer splits. I have a hit list. I do not miss, don't want no friends. They love you till you win. And so what I'm saying is like, I'm not looking for writer splits. Like I'm here to be the vessel, and I will be. And so I don't foresee that for myself, but I'm not closed off to the opportunity of making art with other people. But when it comes to just my music, it's ministry. It's like me being in a pulpit, and I don't know how many preachers have ghostwriters, but I would rather just partner with the Holy Spirit and deliver my music. But I'm not against making music with people, but I don't want anybody writing for me.
He's making all these noises.
She just threw a lyric at you real quick. I don't know if you saw that, man. She just threw some, threw a quick lyric at you.
She with a jab.
I do sound rapper, right? That's the part.
Yeah, I do music too.
I
haven't been.
Man.
I was in the process. I'm in the process of getting all my stuff, because they was telling me, I was doing a lot of music and I was just doing it, but now it's like, get it copywritten and then do it. Like you were saying, you're never too old. I was one of those guys who was thinking that, you don't necessarily say that you missed your time, but I'm not necessarily saying, I'm thinking about to be, go out there and perform all over the world. It's more about just having the message that you want to get out since you wrote it. These thoughts and feelings, somebody else, a lot of lyrics and stuff. Or and that was what I would ask you too, is there a song that was emotional for you to write that resonate? Since you use what category would you be in? Are you like a gospel?
No, I'm not. I would say
religion a lot. You say religious stuff a lot. You know what I mean?
Yep. So people get confused about that. So whatever category anybody would put Lauryn Hill in, that would be the category you would put me in. So I'm a musician, rapper. I do rap, R&B. So I would say any category you'll put her in, you'll put me in. So I'm not we have very similar subject matters and similar assignments, similar mantles. And so I would say I rap, like I rap. However, I'm rapping about something. So some people might call it conscious rap. Some songs might sound Christian rap, but I don't want anybody to put me in any like religious category, because then if you hear another song that doesn't sound Christian, all of a sudden what happened? So I would just say I'm a rapper, and whatever category people choose, that's a choice for them to make. But I would say a very great rapper.
Did you hear what she just said, Razak? I just want you to listen to what she said. She said, whatever place you put Lauryn Hill in, that's where you put me in. She said she's a star off the top. She's not even trying to take that, or whatever the little young rapper.
I have stuff like that too. There's, I think like that too. I make stuff for all genres. If punk rock, it might not be your traditional or something, country.
I have some rock songs. I have some rock songs, folk songs. What's gonna hit. Yeah, it's just like I have rock songs, I have some country songs, I have some folk songs. I'm truly a messenger, and if the beat works, the beat works. And so I truly I would say I'm a rapper, but I have rock songs, rock and roll songs that are great. I have country songs that are great. It's the message that I want to get across. And so people get bogged down in what genre is this? But it's like, just listen to the words. And if it's chew the meat, spit out the bones, listen to the words, because it's a message in it. It's always going to be a message. Every song I make, it's going to be a message that was from my soul, that I have to go through the heartbreak to make the song, or I have to go through the turmoil to make the song. God had to take me through something for me to be able to make the song. So just listen to the words. Don't get bogged down in the details. The devil's in the details. So stay away from the details and just receive it.
Just receive the message.
Receive it.
Wow, 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 wow.
Would you consider
Word, man.
would you consider other forms of entertainment getting into? Because we have some other performers, and I've been trying to get something together and work with some of these other individuals that do different aspects of films and videos and stuff like that. Would you consider maybe one day, at least listening down and sitting down and see what we can come up with?
Yeah, definitely. So my background is in media and entertainment. I went to Creative Performing Media Arts Middle School. So I was in advanced theater. I did theater all throughout high school. I did theater as well in college. So I am a thespian as well. So I'm an entertainer. And so definitely I write scripts. So I'm definitely I'm eager to just be a vessel. And I know that there are going to be different seasons in my life where I'm doing different things, but I know for sure I will definitely be acting in this lifetime. So for sure.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show, and you have been an inspiration. It's educational. It's very informative about the things that you have been doing. There, we have. I think we have found that there's multiple more layers to the MAHONEMADE premium. I keep wanting to say the whole thing. MAHONEMADE premium.
Premium baked goods.
We found out there's a whole bunch of layers to you. I'm glad we was able to meet you right now, and just very grateful to being able to meet you right now. But real quick, is there a possible way? I want you to do two things right here. First, give us contact information. Again, I don't know if we did this already, but give us contact information, your lawyer, your YouTube station. Plug yourself in about where these people can contact you. They can either get you for music, or they can get you to hire you for their civil rights or whatever they might issues have.
Great. So I will say, first off, check the bottom of the screen for being able to place orders for MAHONEMADE. I would also implore you guys to follow us on Instagram. We're building our profile now, so it's MAHONEMADE, one word, and then an underscore. So follow us there, and we would really appreciate it. As it pertains to my content and my music, you can find me on YouTube. You can type in my name right on the screen. And if you want to listen to my music, which I highly recommend that you do, you can find me on all streaming sites. You can find me on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, wherever you stream music, I am there. And just type in TIMAIAH. The spelling is Hayah. So TIMAIAH, my first name. Hayah, which means I am that I am. And so I recommend that you guys do that. And if you would like to have me as an attorney, I'm not necessarily promoting my ability to be your attorney, but if you do reach out to me and you do need an attorney, I know some of the greatest attorneys out there, and I can definitely refer you in that direction. And you can just contact me on my socials at TIMAIAH and just reach out to me, and I would love to connect you to anybody who I might know who might be able to help you with your case, or just see if I could be of use in one way or another.
You gonna keep counting me out. You gonna have to watch me count it up. Cause you got an order of operations. You live your life like a PIMDA's equation. With the hesitation, you suck at communication. Seems like you having a hard time with the calculation. Lack of preparation when I'm with you. Seems like we bound to lose. Parentheses to keep me out, it seems. That side, exponents, you ain't got no power. You move like a coward. Multiply, you tried, but 0 times 0 equals 0 hero. Divide, that's nothing you do in stride. That seems like that's the way you live your life. Your spirit here, your flesh there, your heart where you don't care. You move moving like you choosing and you losing. How you winning when you sinning? It's giving liar. You tried her. Add, ain't much to add up. You stuck, that's tough. Life's rough, so it seems. Look at you, ripping at the seams. Jezebel got you in a spell, and you in the front like you're doing well. You look like what you going through, that's hell. Oh well, math is hard. You ain't getting far and you scarred, so it seems. Subtract me, the queen serene I gotta be. Moving with a king who don't seem to understand this dichotomy. Numbers are hard, got a better chance of winning the lottery. Can't count it up, let me count you out. Cause you chasing clout, going without and living in doubt. You need a new route, moving like you testing a lake. Like God ain't make me great, like he ain't placed Moses anointing me. Like I can't part the Red Sea, you dumb to me. Ain't no mathlete son in me, especially when the sun is bleak. Them numbers ain't adding up and you weak. The math ain't mathin', you lacking. Why they never return with the back end? Cause you slacking. And you live for the optics, stop it. Something don't fit, musta quit. Can't nobody top this. Put it in a locket. And you move like you can't be touched. When it's God's touch alone that allow for you to get in touch with me when you called my phone. The queen serene I gotta be.